Have you ever heard of Cocomelon? No? Don't worry, me neither. I'm too ancient to know anything about it. But I know a little. I've heard a little bit about it, so I guess I lied just a little bit. But anyway, apparently, it's the most evil channel on YouTube, according to SunyV2. That's what we're gonna react to today. Cocomelon, the most evil channel on YouTube. It's by the YouTube channel SunyV2. So as always, link to the video and link to the channel will both be in the description below. Be sure to check them out. And let's go ahead and see why said channel is the most evil channel on YouTube. Let's get into it.
My son is almost 2 and I've been letting him watch Cocomelon,
Okay.
but now I had to get him speech therapy so I can get him to talk.
Wait. I mean, just watching a YouTube channel that puts out content made for kids, that's not gonna prevent a child from learning to talk, is it? I mean, it also depends on the parent. You know, they probably just give that kid an iPad and put something on YouTube so that kid will just sit there and watch the iPad the entire time, instead of actually being a parent and interacting with your kid and, you know, teaching your kid new things. Like, you just hand your kid an iPad and just let them watch shit all day. I don't know, bruh. That's the parent's fault. That's the parent's fault. Raise your kids. Look at me. Raise your kids. Stop being bad parents. Raise your kids. I'm going to Japan.
Hundreds and hundreds of anecdotes in which parents mention the exact same problem. The Cocomelon
material is speech delayed and addicted to Cocomelon. Switch to MS. Oh, Miss Rachel 2 days ago, and he's already saying more words and hasn't had any tantrums.
show is so insanely addictive, it's being compared to nicotine and causing developmental issues amongst the kids who can't stop watching.
Again, this wouldn't be such an issue if parents would just raise their kids, interact with them, buy them little learning toys, like, you know, like putting shapes in the thing, like buy them that kind of thing and teach them, interact with them, get a book and read to them and show them the words. And while you're reading to them, and once they start talking, like, get them to try to say the words when they actually actively start talking. Stop just giving them an iPad and putting it in front of them and letting YouTube raise your kids. Raise your kids. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Holy shit.
Children's TV expert Jerica Sands calls it the most damaging show a child can watch, explaining the sneaky ways in which they make the show addictive. Firstly, there's the colors. Take for example the wheels on the bus.
Go round
the
and
three
round.
main colors, blue, green, and yellow, are all at maximum saturation, meaning they cannot be made any brighter, no matter how hard you try. Extreme saturation is normally used for alerts and notifications, as it's exciting, dynamic, and attracts attention, which is why it's also used in slot machines. Cocomelon puts these.
Oh man! So imagine a kid that grew up on Cocomelon. Do you think they would be more susceptible to gambling addiction because of, like, you know, how slot machines look, especially on like the online gambling websites? Like, I'm sure if gambling machines are using the same type of method to, you know, the color method, saturation all the way up, make them as bright as they can. I'm sure since they're using it, them on actual physical machines, they're probably using them on machines online as well. So do you think that a kid, let me know in the comments below, do you think that a kid that grew up watching Cocomelon would be more susceptible to becoming an online gambling addict because of all the bright colors that slot machines would feature?
colors in perfect contrast, making them appear even more vibrant, which is different to, for example, Bluey, in which the colors instead blend together. Cocomelon's also different because it's highly repetitive. There's a reason they have 38 videos with over 1 billion views.
God,
a child's
damn.
brain is wired to learn through repetition, so it feels right to them to watch the same thing over and over again. Cocomelon abuses this in
Those kids do this, their brain is okay.
Almost every video. For example, in the Yes Yes Playground song, they pick a word to repeat 3 times in every sentence, pairing it with a subtly repeating background lullaby, keeping children hooked. Literally no show or movie puts my son into a lullaby, keeping children.
Yay, 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 yay. Yes, yes, yes. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Yes, yes, yes. You know, you could also, instead of letting your kid watch Cocomelon, you could also be teaching them a second language while their brain is still developing. Shit, I mean that's also, I'm sure that's how kids who have parents that come from two different countries and know 2 different languages, that's how it's easy for them to become bilingual. Like, I wish, well, obviously my parents didn't know I would be so interested in Japan and Japanese culture. But I wish my parents would have taught me some Japanese while I was still growing up and my brain was still developing. But my parents don't even know Japanese, or none of my parents are Japanese anyway, so that makes no sense for them to do that. But still, like, imagine, like, shit. I think I'm gonna do this when I finally have kids. Like, just have them learn Japanese, have them learn Spanish and English. Like, at least trilingual kid, bruh. Like, instead of handing them an iPad and letting YouTube raise my kid, I'm gonna be doing some shit like that.
Children hooked. Literally no show or movie puts my son into a deep trance the way Cocomelon does. The second it's on the TV, he turns into a toddler zombie who doesn't see or hear anything else that's going on in the room.
That's a bad sign.
This is only exacerbated by Cocomelon's subtitles, which have also been a heavy point of criticism. The letters are not educational. I can barely read them fast enough. It's simply another interesting element to capture your little one's attention. Cocomelon explains in every description, our goal is to help make learning a fun and enjoyable experience for kids, giving you the peace of mind that your children are receiving quality educational content. But
wait, we also make life easier for parents who want to keep their kids happily entertained, giving you the peace of mind that your children are receiving quality educational content. Our videos also give you an opportunity to teach, right? And play with your children as you both watch. Hell no. Let's see, at Cocomelon, our goal is to help make learning a fun and enjoyable experience for kids.
Our goal is
for kids by creating beautiful 3D animation, educational lyrics. Educational lyrics? You repeat 3 words over and over again. Yes, yes, yes. I want to stomp, 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 whatever. It doesn't sound like educational lyrics. And to help make
children are receiving quality educational content. But people have argued that they're teaching exactly what children shouldn't do. For example, in the No No Bedtime song, the baby refuses to brush his teeth, have a bath, put on pajamas, or get in bed.
Bruh.
The education is that he eventually agrees to do so, yet a TikTok user was critical, stating, anytime I'd ask my son to do a simple task, he'd say no, no, no. He's sitting there watching Cocomelon, which taught him no, 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 and to say no to me. On the topic of education,
that's when you take off your belt, take the kid, and you whoop that kid's ass, your belt. Discipline your kid. And stop handing them an iPad and letting YouTube raise your children. Interact with your kids and raise your kids. They won't grow up to be pain in the ass members of society that we have to deal with because you didn't want to do your job as a parent when they were growing up.
Jerica-san stated, these people don't give a shit about our children. They care about money. That's it. Your child's cognitive development in direct exchange for their wealth, and there's pretty good evidence supporting this. A New York Times journalist visited Cocomelon's studio, discovering their #1 focus is keeping children hooked. Cocomelon's data and analytics team sifts constantly through YouTube numbers to determine exactly what resonates. Should a girl wear black jeans or blue jeans? Should the music music be louder or softer? Should the bus be yellow or red? Yellow is the answer, as they use a darker method to ensure that they're correct. Cocomelon has a dedicated Distractotron room, in which once a month children are brought here one at a time and shown a handful of episodes to figure out exactly which parts of the shows are engaging and which are tuned out. Next to the TV playing Cocomelon, there's a second screen which plays a continuous loop of banal real-world scenes. A guy pouring a cup of coffee, someone getting a haircut, each lasting about 20 seconds. Whenever a youngster looks away from the Moonbug show to glimpse the Distractotron, a note is jotted down. We can see what they're looking at and the exact moment when they got distracted.
Hold up. So they have this whole thing set up just to make sure that the kids don't get distracted from the show. Like, obviously, when they find out what parts of the show the kids are looking away from, they're gonna go back in, change those parts of the show so that the kids will continuously stay engaged with it and not be wanting to look away to real world activities that are going on around them. Bro, I would say that's gotta be illegal, but obviously it's not. But that's so fucked up. But hey, like I said in one of my other videos, when it comes to kids, if you can get them while they're young, get them hooked while they're young, and you'll have them for life. So that's obviously what they're trying to do. Like, these kids are becoming brain rot more and more, and so easily as well.
Therefore, education clearly isn't the primary goal. Keeping kids' attention is, and this is proven by Cocomelon's most addictive element, rapid camera cutting. It's crazy how many times the frame changes on Cocomelon. It's the same type of addicting behavior that we experience on a TikTok binge. It's the quick change of frame that releases that dopamine and makes the videos addicting to watch. Count the seconds between a change of frame. Well, TikToker the Circus Brain did exactly this. He firstly counts the changes on My Little Pony, concluding there's about 6 seconds between each cut. He then compares it to Cocomelon.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1.
Holy
2,
shit.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
In her video, The Nightmare That Is Cocomelon, Savantix draws a similar conclusion. She found that 96% of the shots in Baby Shark were shorter than 2 seconds. She then compares.
Is Cocomelon where Baby Shark came from?
4 different animated shows, again find
shout out to Arcane.
Shorter than 2 seconds. She then compares 4 different.
Shout out to Arcane. Shout out to League of Legends. Love that. I hate that game. I love playing the game. I hate the game though, and I hate playing the game. But I'm addicted to it, so I play it. Arcane is a great show. Season 2 is coming out in November, I believe. But fuck Netflix because they keep messing up. They keep buying or they keep trying to make live action version of anime and fucking it over. So fuck Netflix for that. I refused. I canceled my Netflix subscription because of that. And so now I'll have to find some random site to watch Arcane Season 2 on when that comes out. So I'm still gonna watch it. So shout out to League of Legends and shout out to Riot.
Animated shows, again finding Cocomelon has the shorter shots.
The longest shot on a Cocomelon video was 6 seconds. The longest shot on Arcane was 8 seconds. The longest shot on Bluey was 27 seconds. And the longest shot on Encanto was 18 seconds.
Which when combined with every other element, creates some terrifying statistics. Dr. Kristen Summer explained that when showing an infant normal video content, they'll focus on the screen just 11% of the time. However, when the video is instead switched to Cocomelon, their screen engagement skyrockets to a whopping 74%. This therefore produces stories such as this. I used to volunteer for a preschool and they had song time. A Cocomelon video came on and all of the tots stopped what they were doing, put down their cheese crackers, and remained fixated on the screen for the duration of the video.
Bro, holy, that is some zombie activity. That's some zombie brain activity. They stop what they're doing, stay fixated on the TV, and they just, even when they were eating, they put down their food, stay fixated on the TV, and was just watching it until it ended. That's disturbing. Those kids' attention spans are going to be trash when they grow up, bro. I mean, kids older than them already have terrible attention spans. Like that's why there's people like on TikTok when they have a video, they'll have a video on top and then under that video they'll have like Subway Surfers playing just to keep your attention on the video so you actually watch the whole thing. Shit, the kids that are growing up on Cocomelon are gonna have even worse attention spans than those kids. Like it's terrible. It's a bad look. It's a bad look.
It was honestly kind of terrifying. YouTuber SaberSpark shared his own personal anecdote. He asked to watch a Disney movie with his 2 younger cousins, who both completely refused, and instead spent all day glued to an iPad playing the addictive show.
Holy
in
crap.
Cocomelon Made My Kid a Zombie, a mother talks about her son. He would be in a daze while watching it. You could be waving your hand right in front of his face, and he wouldn't move. It was almost scary. This was also discovered by Sarah Mills 98, who explained when the Cocomelon addiction is so real that my 1-year-old can navigate the TV to turn it on by himself. However,
oh my god, you're 1-year-old. A 1-year-old has enough brain function to navigate the TV and turn on Cocomelon by himself. You better put that remote in a place where he can't reach it. You know, remotes, some remotes, depending on the parents who are raising their kids, some remotes might need to start having a keep away from children or keep out of reach of children like sign on it. Because this is way past terrible. This is way past worrisome. This is the zombie apocalypse that we were so worried about happening. The Cocomelon apocalypse, the zombie brain rot children apocalypse. This is the zombie apocalypse that we were worried for, and now it's here. When those kids grow up, turn on some Cocomelon, you got them, bro. You're done. They're done.
nothing shows the addiction better than the Cocomelon TikTok trend. Parents will play the show's intro loudly and video their kids sprinting toward the television, where you can witness their mood change instantly. The New York Times journalist found something similar. The kid in the Distractotron had shown up in the midst of a tantrum, which ended the second he heard the Cocomelon theme song. It was no surprise to Wheeler, the head of research. 99% of kids, he said, if they're having issues when they get here, once that Cocomelon song comes on, they're like, life is okay, all is good with the world. Obviously, there's a reason for this. Cocomelon is so hyper-stimulating that it actually acts as a drug, and what happens when you take the drug away. Young children experiencing symptoms of addiction and withdrawal, obviously leaving them completely dysregulated. TikTok user ThePoff1 filmed what happens when you take the show away, explaining he'll be inconsolable for at least 10 to 15 minutes after, adding in the description, Cocomelon meltdown is legit. Once you have a taste of the cocoa, it's hard to break the addiction, which this Reddit user had experienced even worse. My husband and I have been worried about our child. I can slowly see how she'd throw violent tantrums at home and in church whenever she'd get bored and would want to watch the show. Her behavior changes the moment she watches the show, and she will not even eat her meals if she wouldn't watch it. After these tantrums end, kids can experience a general discomfort in the speed of everyday life. The more they watch the show, the more their brain begins to expect this intense level of stimulation.
Basically, Cocomelon overstimulates their brains so much that everything else just seems slow and boring in comparison.
However, the potential consequences get much worse than this.
Man, if you have to, like, let's say you got your kid, let's say you have your kid or whatever, and you're playing with them, you're actually interacting with your own child, but you gotta step away for like a hot second, start cooking something, or go to answer the door or something like that. But you need to you absolutely have to let them like hold the iPad and watch something. Put on some old-fashioned Bill Nye the Science Guy. Put on some old-fashioned some older actual educational content, not something like Cocomelon that parades itself as educational. Don't do that, obviously, like, or any of this newer well, I wouldn't trust any of this newer age type of educational content on some of these channels, just because I wouldn't trust them, just because I haven't researched them like that. But if you're gonna trust them, you make sure you actually research them. Don't just hand them an iPad and put on Cocomelon. Put on some like fucking Bill Nye, or put on some, maybe even Dora the Explorer, or something old school. Put on some Five Nights at Freddy's. Don't put on Five Nights at Freddy's. But like put on something that's that you yourself is verified educational, or something older that is actually educational. Like this is worrisome. This is very worrisome.
Mentioned at the start, it was the cause of a child's speaking problems, with a notable reply reading, "Same thing happened with my daughter too."
Wait.
Speaking.
So my son is almost 2 and I've been letting him watch Cocomelon because he really likes it. But now I had to get him a speech therapy. Oh, that's the person that I was talking about in the beginning. Get him a speech therapy in order so I can get him to talk. I'm not saying Cocomelon was the cause of this, but I do feel like I failed as a, yes, you did. You failed as a mother. You do feel like you failed as a mother by letting him watch that. Yes, I agree. You failed as a mother. This video really educated me a lot. And I think I'll start weaning him off of Cocomelon and play with him more. You're actually gonna be a parent? Good job. That's what you should have been doing that. You see, he's not going to be 2 forever, so I wanted to do better for him. That's good. Holy shit. So whatever video she commented on, like, I'm glad they actually started to steer her in the right direction. And she should probably share that video with all her whole friend group that has kids. Anybody that has kids in her friend group, share the video to them. Spread the knowledge. Spread it.
Problems, with a notable reply reading, "Same thing happened with my daughter too. She's 4 but can't speak properly. She knows the words, but she does not like to frame the sentence or speech. She has been watching these Cocomelons or such other stuffs for 2 or 3 years. Hope we're not too late."
For 2 or 3 years, I don't know what to do. She has now developed anger issues, hyperactive. Though it's been a year, we completely stopped giving her the mobile or TV or any other or any other gadgets. But we play audio songs on the mobile to soothe her mind, and she does paintings now. Okay, so maybe she'll be an artist. She'll go to be an artist. There's still hope. Hope we are not too late and everything sorts out. Whew. So yeah, you know, again, none of these parents would have this problem if they just raised their kids in the first place. Interact with them, raise them, teach them while they're young. Don't let other people have the opportunity to teach your kids whatever they want, whatever agenda they want to teach your kid. You should teach your kid. You should raise your kid. You should interact with your kid. Don't just hand them an iPad and let them watch and let YouTube or the iPad raise them. Interact. Raise your children. Be a parent. Be the parent you were meant to be. I have faith in you. You got this.
Over on Reddit, a speech-language pathologist explained, "Screen time in general is linked with speech delays for a variety of reasons, but Cocomelon is excessively bad. Firstly, unlike other TV shows or movies, it doesn't have a story. It's just very short clips with poorly written songs. The kids aren't able to follow the plot, learn vocabulary, and see the resolution of a conflict supported by infant specialists."
Wait. I read this while he was reading that. Another problem is that screen time hits their brains like a drug. It has the same chemical reactions as a literal drug, so they withdraw when off the screens, making it very hard to learn. The most important issue is that for every hour they're watching Cocomelon, that's another hour of not interacting with people or exploring their environment. You can only learn language by interacting with others.
vocabulary and see the resolution of a conflict, supported by infant specialist Meg Fora.
And the problem with fast-paced TV programs is that we find that little one's language development is slower.
On the Agents of Speech YouTube channel, this is again confirmed.
The main problem with watching videos on the internet is that they don't know how to use the language that they learn.
But he adds that 4 to 5 hours of screen time per day can make a toddler completely non-verbal. 4 to 5 hours is obviously a lot of time, but in Cocomelon Made My Kid a Zombie, researchers discovered that 5-year-olds who watch more than 2 hours of TV a day tended to have lower attention spans and were 7.7 times more likely to show symptoms of ADHD. These screen times might be
probably, I mean, that's definitely because of all the cutting and the low attention span required to watch Cocomelon. With all the constant cuts, like that guy, when that guy was counting, I think the highest he got was 3, but most of the cuts were like 1 second apart.
even lower for Cocomelon specifically, because as explained by Jerica Sands, not all screen time is created equal. A child who just watched 30 minutes of Cocomelon and a child who just watched 30 minutes of Trash Truck will look like a very, very different child. Thankfully, here lies a simple solution. Sierra Renee explained my 2-year-old is speech delayed and addicted to Cocomelon. Switched to Miss Rachel 2 days ago, and he's already saying more words and hasn't had any tantrums.
Okay.
Kim.it shared an almost identical anecdote. My 8-month-old was obsessed with Cocomelon and having bad tantrums, so I cancelled Cocomelon and only let her watch Miss Rachel, and she said her first word within the first 3 days of watching. Clearly, parents are able to simply change the channel, but not before leaving Cocomelon a massive amount of dislikes. They've therefore earned the title, the absurdly popular kids show parents hate, dislike.
Yeah, but they still have 4.3 million likes. So hopefully this trend will continue, and this will slowly go from 4.3 to maybe like 1 million, and then 500,000, and then it'll continue to drop, and the dislikes will continue to rise, and slowly but surely, hopefully, Cocomelon will, phase out, because a generation raised on Cocomelon is a generation that will be easily manipulated, easily controlled, and easily invadable. Like, they're donezo.
They've therefore earned the title, the absurdly popular kids show parents hate, and Cocomelon has actually responded to the criticism that explain our shows are not intended to replace outdoor playtime or playdates. They have a place in children's entertainment time, and as with food, exercise, etc., it comes down to each parent to find the right and appropriate balance for their children.
I mean, yeah, of course they're gonna say that, but remember, they have a whole system dedicated to knowing what parts of the show a child looks away from and a child gets distracted from. So they know what they're doing. They know they want kids to be addicted to their show and to be constantly watching their show and to not get distracted from their show. So they know that when parents turn the TV off or take the show out of the equation, the kids are going to throw tantrums and react. They know what they're doing. They know this is happening. But now they're trying to be like, hey, it's up to the parent. It's up to the parents. But when obviously, yes, we do know that it is up to the parent. The parents should not be raising their kids on iPads, but they're trying to be like, hey, it's not our fault. Y'all gotta raise your kids. And I get that. I get that. And they're right. But at the same time, fuck them. They know what they're doing.
Our responsibility is ensuring that the quality of the content that we produce is high and beneficial for the development of a child's cognitive and soft skills. It is worth adding that our social media communities are filled with stories of parents who experience firsthand how Moonbug content helps their children. Cocomelon does have a crazy amount of supporters, but it's obvious that some of them are simply ignoring the downsides. My baby learned the alphabet and numbers from Cocomelon. She may not speak a complete sentence, but she expresses her wants through phrases. But is it Cocomelon's responsibility to ensure that babies are talking? Well, no. People love blaming cartoons and games for raising children, and not the shitty parents that don't step in to stop them from watching so much.
Also true.
Cocomelon is actually a really sad symbol of parents giving their children tablets instead of actually parenting and interacting with them.
Exactly what I've been saying.
Parents are the people who choose how much their child consumes.
So that's that is that's dangerous. Like Cocomelon is a dangerous dangerous piece of content to let your kids watch. But like I've been saying through the whole thing, and like they said at the very end of that video, parents should be raising their kid instead of letting their iPads or YouTube raise their kid. They should actually be interacting with their kids. They should be constantly trying to teach their kids and try to help develop the kid's brain while they're young. Shit, it'll even be a good idea that if you don't know a second language, to learn a second language with your kid. I mean, I bet your kid's gonna be way better at it than you when that kid starts speaking very well, and they can help you learn as well. But still, shit, you and your kid can have that bond of knowing a second language that you can speak around each other and in public. So that will be a great thing, a great bonding thing. Like learn a second language with your kid while they're growing up. But yeah, this was the video Cocomelon, the most evil channel on YouTube, by SunyV2. So as always, links to his video and links to his channel will both be in the description below. So be sure to check him out. And while you're there, don't forget to do those 3 things I like to ask you to do, and like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for more videos. Yeah. And you know what it is after that, in case I don't see you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace and much love to you.